Welcome, and thank you for watching. This is the 4th episode of Did You Know? And it's brought to you by age-friendly South Portland. In this episode, we're going to explore mindfulness and also provide an opportunity for you to practice a mindfulness technique. To start with, did you know that mindfulness can improve your mood and prevent falls? Mindfulness is attributed to many health benefits for the body, the mind, and the spirit. To put it simply, mindfulness is about slowing down and taking time to develop awareness of present moment. Here to help us experience this is Michael Elliott. Michael has been practicing Tai Chi for 47 years. Michael?
Hi. Nice to meet everybody. I learned Tai Chi in I didn't learn the whole form. I got my introduction in 1970. And then I had my first teacher, a formal teacher, 5 years later. So you can do the math. I did practice it out of a book for a couple of years, and I realized there was a big, at the time in 1972, 73, a small episode of what they called London flu, and I was pretty much immobilized, but as soon as I could get out of bed, I started doing the movements. And I realized years later that may have pulled me through just doing those movements every day when I had enough energy, because it boosted my energy and it kept me from lying flat. So a big part of Tai Chi is the idea. There's a book called Sitting Kills, Moving Heals, done by astronaut scientist who noticed that when people go into outer space and don't have gravity, they get sick. So if we can utilize our bodies to complement gravitational pull and keep the three things in Tai Chi, which are good posture, breathing, and then what Stephanie's talking about is mindfulness, or being aware that the mind and the body don't separate, but they complement each other. So that's my brief introduction. I got entranced by the movements early on and just kept at it. And finally, my teacher, as they say, appeared, and I stayed with him for a few years. And then I moved around the country and finally ended up in Chicago, where I got the long form, which is a lot more movements. So I have about 3 different practices and a great breathing practice, which is one of the key elements.
Well, I know that you know a lot about Tai Chi and the history of Tai Chi. So I'm wondering if you could give some perspective about when it started, where it started, and how did we get to it?
Well, that's probably 3 or 4 different versions. The 2 that I know fairly well are that the founder of Tai Chi was known as Sanfeng Cheng, and he was around the 11th or 12th century, and he's one of what they call a Taoist immortal, and there are all sorts of mythological stories about him. He saw a snake and a raptor, probably a hawk, going at it for about 2 days, and he watched those movements according to the mythology, and decided that those he could adapt those to his own Taoist practices. Another version is that early Chinese medicine had knowledge of early acupuncture and even more importantly, acupressure. And they noticed that these movements that were starting to come out, they may come from Shaolin practices with the Buddhists as well. They complemented and actually had the same result in some instances as the acupuncture and acupressure.
I know there's a lot of evidence-based studies now that have proven it to be beneficial health-wise for seniors.
Yes, exactly. I sent you the write-up from a gentleman who has the integrated Center for Oriental Medicine, and I think it's in Plano, Texas. And he wrote, I think, the best article. And the paragraph that I always put out for people is that it elevates the heart rate, strengthens the blood vessels and arteries, imparts greater muscle tone throughout the body, increases balance and centering, improves posture, reduces stress, improves mobility, relieves pain, and builds energy and reduces fatigue. And that's his name is Richard Peck from the Integrated Center of Oriental Medicine. And I think that's the best statement. There's a lot of Tai Chi masters who are building their own system. There's one Tai Chi for arthritis. I think that's Dr. Lam. And there's the one that I learned about 10 years ago, which is Tai Chi Moving for Better Balance, which is Fuzan Lee, who took actually a pilot study from the Center for Disease Control. And they back in the late 90s started to investigate balance and Tai Chi movement.
I would also think with the breathing exercises, that's part of Tai Chi.
Right.
The deep breathing, it leads to mental relaxation, and mental relaxation can help improve thinking skills like your memory and your perception, and even improve learning.
Yeah, that's why I endorse, if you can do it, and I was in my late 50s, early 60s when I learned a longer form, I've been practicing 37 movements for probably 35 years. And when I learned the long form, I started to realize just to remember the sequence and the postures is a great mindfulness exercise. And with the breathing, when you incorporate that, then you've got a pretty full package.
With that, Mike, would you like to talk to us about the seated movements that you've put together?
Yeah, I'm starting to work with a group called Tai Chi Health. Tricia Yu put this program together for University of Wisconsin physical therapists, and they have a pretty solid team of people who teach all the different modalities for aging. Using a walker, having a little something nearby for balance, and then seated. The seated, of course, doesn't get the full use of the legs. There is some leg movement that you can bring in, but it will open up joints. And of course, the breathing again can be brought in as you learn these movements.
Well, I'm so glad you've been willing to share with us a series of movements. I think by following along, people watching this will be able to experience how Tai Chi promotes the body and mind integration, and it keeps us alert and connected and relaxed and aware. And I'm looking forward to having people follow along.
Elliott, and I've been doing Tai Chi 46 years. I am going to just talk a little bit about Tai Chi in the context of mindfulness, which seems to be a very common topic these days. When I was introduced to Tai Chi, there was a saying that the E leads the Chi, which means the mind will lead the Chi, or the energy in your body. That has to be put into a framework with Tai Chi practice, where you have good posture, good breathing, and we breathe here below the diaphragm. We want to sink the breath. And then the E leading the Chi, probably the easiest thing to do is when we start learning these movements, is to just think about noticing what you're noticing. So we'll go over that a little bit as I go through the Tai Chi seated program. This is called Tai Chi Fundamentals. And again, I'll emphasize that when we do the movements, notice what you're noticing. As a matter of fact, I would have a little card to carry around even when you're not doing Tai Chi movements, and practice that, and it will help enhance your ability to move and to get through the day feeling just full of energy. The first thing is we're going to talk about balance. Even while you're seated, you can be balanced in the chair. I like to sit forward a little bit so that the sits bones are balanced here. We're going to actually emphasize both sides. We want our posture from the head. It's like a helium balloon is pulling our head up into the clouds. And number 3 is we're going to do something with our body that is new. So we're going to have to learn how to coordinate. And with coordination, I thought, well, this is also concentration. So again, the mindfulness piece comes in with noticing what you're noticing. So in terms of the body, we start with the feet, and we're going to have our feet in what we call the horse stance. That's about hip width. It's going to vary, and you may adjust it as you go along. We're going to be in this stance, and we're going to next go to the breathing. And all of these Chinese, they call them Qigong, and of course everybody knows now about Qigong, but it's all about breath, posture, and again, number 3, the mind. So the mind and noticing what you're noticing. So we're going to start the breathing first after we get our feet aligned, just like on railroad tracks. And we're going to breathe deeply into the belly, just like a baby breathes. So put a hand here, and when you inhale, you feel your lower abdomen expand. And when you exhale, it will contract. So you just sit quietly for a minute or 2. This is called centering in the horse stance. Remember, you're noticing what you're noticing. even when you're sitting still. Okay, so the second one is putting the hands down by your side. And this is called heavy arms. So we want to swing the arms back and forth. And we sense some heaviness in the arms, in the elbows, and also in the shoulders. Just feel the lymph glands start to be activated from the swinging. Now we have movement to our mindfulness and being aware of noticing what you're noticing inside your body and out. Okay, the second one, put the hands on the knees. This is called riding a horse, and make sure you can feel your weight going into the chair and the sits bones. We're just going to come forward in the horse stance and come back. So forward and back. Forward, back. Just like riding a horse. Okay, the next one is called the crane takes flight. So we have these nice fancy images to work with. So we're going to lift your wrists, do the lifting, and come down. Crane taking flight. And beautiful crane going off into the sky. Again, adjust this to your body type and comfort level. If it's not comfortable, modify it. You don't have to go up as high as I'm going, and come down. One. So were you able to practice noticing the crane taking flight with your body? Number 5 with the bear, roots on one leg. So now we're going to be very aware of our sits bones on the chair. Might move to the side a little bit. And we're going to fill one leg by pushing down, and then we're going to empty the other leg. And then we'll push down on this side with our sits bone and empty this leg. Okay, so bear roots on one leg. So we're moving into one side and the other. And then after a while you can lift and lift. This is one of the most fundamental Tai Chi exercises when I started learning. So bear roots on one leg. Okay, so now we're going to modify that, and we're going to stabilize one leg by rooting. So let's root on this side, stabilize, and on the heel of the other foot, just turn the foot out. So get your sits bone on one side and this leg opening up and come back. This time, when we push down, feel this leg empty, and you can actually, when you lift this leg, you can feel that sits bone pushing down and this foot pushing down. So just become aware of that. And push down on this side, sits bone on this side as you lift the leg. So we're pushing down here as we press the foot into the floor on this side. Good. Okay, so let's go back to our stable and open exercise. So again, we're rooting, and that stabilizes this side of your body. And then we're emptying and turning the foot. Come back. Now stabilize this side. Root down and open on this side. And rooting and opening. Stabilizing and opening. Stabilizing and opening. Good. And this is a traditional Qigong energy exercise. We're going to hold the moon right here in front of us, right in front of the chest. And have the palms facing each other. So we've lifted this energy that we've built up in our legs and transmitted it into our palms. So try and feel some kind of energy between the palms, and then you can bring that back down again. So holding the moon, and then the second part of that is called gathering the stars. So we sweep around to the side, gathering the stars or gathering your dreams, and come back down to holding the moon. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed when you do this. Again, modify it if you have difficulty with your shoulders. It's sometimes a big issue. Gather the stars and come down. And gather the stars, hold the moon. Gather the stars one more time, and hold the moon. Good. Now, let's try the Tai Chi stance itself. So we're in the horse stance. We're going to take a foot and bring it back and angle it. And we can modify this a little bit, take it up. We have this foot straight and this foot angled, okay? And just get that feeling for that, and we can come forward into riding the horse in the Tai Chi stance. Come back to good posture and ride the horse again. And let's go back into our Wuji. Bring this foot back and turn this foot forward. So now we have our feet shoulder width again. We're balanced, and we're going to do this on the other side. So bring the other foot back. Adjust this foot if you need to. And ride the horse in the Tai Chi stance. Back into the horse stance, and let's try it again, but this time we're going to do the bear moving with crane arms. Sounds like Dr. Seuss. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring this foot back again, modify this foot here in the front so that we have a Tai Chi stance. This is also known as the bow and arrow stance. And we're going to ride the horse, but this time we're going to swing the arms with that. So come forward and back. So forward, back, forward. Feel the weight of your foot as you come forward. Foot back, turn this foot straight, bring this foot back, step out a little bit here. And again, bear moving with crane arms, coming forward, feel the weight go into your front foot. Back into the horse stance and adjust yourself on your chair. Okay, so we started talking about the three basic elements to go into Qigong and Tai Chi. That is good posture, sitting upright with the head floating like a balloon, or being suspended by a balloon. Posture, breathing, and the mind. And we talked about the mind in terms of noticing what you're noticing when you're doing these movements. After a while, that will become more and more comfortable and try and make it a habit. So the breathing part, we can practice right now. This is called Greek breathing. And I won't do the salute. There's even a salute that goes with it, because it comes from a different tradition called Shaolin. But what we're going to do is we're going to place our palms in our lap, crossing, and we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth if you want. We're going to lift up the middle line and inhale. And we're going to go out and we're going to exhale 3 times with the palms turning. 1, 2, 3. Palms in the lap. Inhale up. Exhale down. Palms are up. Inhale by going to the side with both palms facing up, and inhale all the way. Up, turn the palms to the front, and exhale all the way down. And here we are riding the horse again. Past the knees, and bring that, stabilize this leg, and bring the other foot in. And inhale up again. Let the breath out with your elbows settling down. And keep your palms up, inhaling a big horizontal circle. Exhale in, inhale out, exhale all the way down at your knees. So separate back to the horse stance again. Cross your palms, we'll do another one. So great breathing, inhaling up the middle. And exhaling down, 1, 2, 3. up the side, arms lifting. Exhale. Remember, we're going to ride the horse and step in. And inhale back up again. Put the breath out, elbows settling down. To conclude, the practice of Tai Chi will give you tremendous health benefits. It will keep you mentally aware more and more of your body. That's the saying in Tai Chi, let the mind embrace the body. And if you practice it every day, and that's the big factor, I always ask my students, have you practiced? And you can tell sometimes that no, they didn't practice enough or they didn't do it enough, because it's a lot of the Tai Chi in China were they were known as groups are known as Tai Chi research societies, and even the people who have been doing it their whole lifetime were doing research on how their body worked as they aged. So there's a little cliche now about becoming a lifelong learner. You can become a lifelong learner with Tai Chi and have no limit to what you can delve into. So anyway, thank you, and I thank you very much, and I hope you come practice Tai Chi.